This week, the NASCAR Cup Series heads to the Lone Star State for a Texas-sized snooze fest at the Texas Motor Speedway. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down who I think will have the best opportunity to win, as well as looking at some drivers who are going to perform better than they have been in the past few weeks, and of course, looking at a parlay that I like to try and win some money. This year's Texas race is being run earlier in the year versus years past, and the only data I have is one Texas race a year since 2022. But we can also look at the All-Star race in 2022 for determining best drivers. So let's dive into the video. The first driver that I'm considering a strong favorite to win on Sunday is the number 5 of Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is the most recent winner this year on a mile-and-a-half track, and I expect him to have another shot at winning, this time at Texas. Larson doesn't have the best finishes with the next-gen car at this track, as he is a 31st last year and a 24th in the All-Star race in 2022. Both of those finishes were results of crashes, but he did have a strong car in those races. In 2023, he led over 100 laps before crashing out late in the race. Larson finished 9th in the 2022 fall race and also has 2 wins at Texas, both in 2021, one in the All-Star race and one in the playoff race. Although those were with the old car, he still knows how to win here, and look out for the 5 car on Sunday. The next driver that I'm keeping my eye on to win at Texas this weekend is Tyler Reddick. Reddick is always strong at mile-and-a-halfs, and he has a win in the next-gen car at Texas. It came in 2022 in the fall race where he outlasted everyone who had tire issues, but he still has that win to his resume for Texas. Reddick did finish 25th in last year's race here, and also didn't get into the All-Star race in 2022. But he still remains one of the best at these style of racetracks, and I can very well see him winning on Sunday and getting redemption for not winning the Las Vegas race earlier this year. Next up on my list for drivers to watch is Bubba Wallace. I'm going for the Bubba Wallace redemption story this weekend. Last year at Texas, he dominated, leading over 100 laps, and had a true chance at winning that race until he lost the lead on the final restart, and he ended up finishing 3rd. Wallace has some pretty poor finishes in the other 2 races at Texas with the next-gen car, but I've seen enough of him at mile-and-a-halfs since 2022 to know that he is a threat, but only if his pit crew doesn't mess up his shot to win. Moving on to my next driver to watch to win, I have the number 1 of Ross Chastain. Ross finished 2nd here in the playoffs last year, and much like Bubba Wallace, I've seen enough of Ross to know at mile-and-a-halfs that he is a true contender. Chastain finished 13th in the 2022 fall race, and he crashed out of the All-Star race after running in the top 5 for most of the race until this wreck. Ross has yet to win on a mile-and-a-half track, but I think this can change Sunday. Watch out for the number 1. Okay, so the final driver that I'm picking for Sunday was a bit difficult to choose because of the data and the remaining drivers, and also me not wanting to be boring and just pick the best driver every week like William Byron. Anyways, the final driver that I'm picking is the number 12 of Ryan Blaney. I was torn on this, but it came down to him being one of the few winners at Texas in the next-gen car. It was in 2022 in the All-Star race, but it's still a win at this track. In the 2022 fall race, he finished 4th, and last year he was involved in a late wreck that ultimately netted him a 28th place finish. Blaney finished in the top 5 at Vegas, which is the last mile-and-a-half track we were at, and I could see him taking home the W on Sunday. Honorable mention, Joey Logano. I have a feeling, but I don't want to say a lot of drivers because I don't want to make a long list. But watch out for Joey Logano. I didn't know who to pick, him or Blaney, but both of them are going to be strong. Alright, so let's move into the drivers who I think are going to exceed expectations this race versus the rest of their seasons. As always, I pick 3 drivers who will exceed expectation, and this week I'm picking John Hunter Nemechek, Carson Hocevar, and Noah Gragson to perform extremely well at Texas. So let's touch on each of them quickly on why I think they'll exceed expectations. First up, John Hunter Nemechek. He's a 2-time winner in the Xfinity Series at Texas in 2021 and 2023. On top of that, I believe he's due for a big race, and I think Texas is the place for this to happen. I think John Hunter will finish inside the top 15 and no worse than 20th. A bit better than what he has been running, and who knows, maybe he can get inside the top 10. Moving on to Carson Hocevar. Hocevar won the Truck Series race here last year, and in the next-gen car last year, he finished 16th, driving the 42 car, which is what Nemechek will drive on Sunday. I think this track favors the drivers who are more aggressive, and I think Hocevar's driving style is perfect for this track. He finished 16th at Las Vegas, and I expect the same result at Texas with nothing worse than 18th to 20th. Now, Noah Gragson is the final driver I expect to have a better run at Texas than most of his runs this year. Gragson, like the other 2 drivers mentioned, has a win at Texas and won a NASCAR's lower series. He won at Texas in 2022 in the Xfinity Series. He ran well at Las Vegas this year, finishing 6th. He ran inside the top 10 most of that race, and I expect the same thing for him to get a top 10, no worse than 15th. Moving into the betting portion of this video, I have two parlays that I'm eyeing this Sunday. The first one is picking the top manufacturers of both the Chevys and the Toyotas. For this bet, I'm using DraftKings, and the bet is Ross Chastain top Chevy and Bubba Wallace top Toyota. Now you could change out the 23 for the 45, and it would pay nearly the same, maybe off by like $50. Now for the big parlay this week, I'm using Caesars, and the bet is William Byron over Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski over Alex Bowman, Daniel Suarez over Eric Jones, Bubba Wallace over Ty Gibbs, and Ross Chastain over Kyle Busch. So there you have it. That's what I'm rolling out with this week for Texas. Let me know what you guys think, and if you have any other opinions on winners, let me know down in the comments. I appreciate you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.